Hi, Angie here from MyNextTablet.com. Today with an unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. Not the 2020 edition, also not the 2022 edition, but the brand new 2024 edition. Alright, let's start with the unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2024 edition. And you can see already that we've got a new packaging compared to the predecessor. And inside that box, we've got the tablet itself, which costs 429 euros in the Eurozone for the Wi-Fi version and 489 euros for the LTE 4G version, which is the one I have. And I'm guessing in the US it will starting at around $400 US. And we also get an eject tool inside the box. Then we get the standard paperwork, quick start guide and warranty card, and a USB-C to C cable without a charger. And then the S Pen is still included, of course. And since I shot the first part of this video, a couple of hours have passed already, and you can see the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2024 edition here. I played with it quite a bit already, played some games and ran some benchmarks and compared it with the predecessor, the S6 Lite 2022 edition, which I have here. That's also a 2020 edition, which looks exactly the same, and it's quite confusing. They just look identical, and they are almost identical except for a couple of features. So they almost look the same. I have to be careful not to confuse which one is which. Let me show you the packaging of the 2022 edition that I still have here, 2022 edition. It looks like this, so it looks a bit different compared to the 2024 edition. So if you are buying a new tablet, make sure you're getting this packaging, which is the newest version and not one of the older versions. There are 3 tablets that look identical, but the packaging looks a bit different, so that's important to note. Yeah, and the design hasn't changed. It looks exactly like the predecessor. It's a bit of a premium feeling tablet. The design is a bit old looking, I think, but it still has a premium feel since it is a lower mid-range tablet, but it certainly is still a mid-range tablet. The transition from the screen to the body feels quite nice. We're getting a full metal body here. It feels certainly much nicer than the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus, which I also have here as a comparison. It's a bit bigger because we've got 11 inches here and 10.4 inches here, but the A9 Plus feels much cheaper, and it is quite a bit cheaper. I also have the Lenovo Tab M11 here as a comparison, which is one of the newest tablets from Lenovo. It also comes with a pen. It feels similarly built, but it's actually quite a bit weaker, but also quite a bit cheaper than the S6 Lite. And while I'm at it, let me also hold the Galaxy Tab S9 FE against it. The FE has the newest Samsung design. It feels much higher end, and it has a lot more features than the S6 Lite. But let's go to the S6 Lite 2024 edition. Like I said, the design hasn't changed compared to the predecessor at all. So let's go around it. We've got a 10.4-inch display here, symmetrical black screen bezels. We've got a 5-megapixel webcam in the front, and you can use it for facial recognition to unlock the tablet. Quick and easy, but not as secure as the fingerprint reader would be, but there is none. So you can only use either a PIN or facial recognition. On the back, we've got an 8-megapixel camera, no LED flash or so, no additional camera. We've got the full metal body here. We've got antennas for the Wi-Fi and LTE that are built into the body, which looks very nice and certainly high-end, similar as we would see on an iPad. And there is no 5G version, by the way. You can only get 4G, but no 5G. And if we look to the sides, we've got one speaker here, a standard headphone jack, which is unusual in this price range. Then nothing on this side. On this side, we've got a USB-C 2.0 port. So no 3.0 or 3.1, only 2.0. That's a bit disappointing, but was the same with the predecessors. Then we've got another speaker here, a microSD card slot, and in this case also the SIM card slot, volume rocker, and of course a power button. And that's it. So much about the design of the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. And now we get immediately to the display of this tablet, and it also hasn't changed at all compared to the predecessor. We're getting 10.4 inches here and a resolution of 2000 by 1200 pixels. I think that the resolution is certainly high enough on 10 inches. Text and icons look sharp enough for sure, not as sharp as on the Galaxy Tab S9 or so, but still, for this price range, about fine. We are only getting a 60 Hz display here, and overall it's a pretty good display. It has good viewing angles and colors, contrast and so on are fine, but when I compared it to the S9 FE, the FE is brighter, it's a nicer display overall, and that one supports 90 Hz. This one only supports 60 Hz. So much about the display. By the way, the speakers are pretty good and not as good as the S9 FE, but still pretty good for such a small tablet and for a cheaper tablet. So this certainly will also be a decent entertainment tablet. So not much to tell about the display since it didn't change compared to the predecessors. And the same is with the S Pen. But this S Pen is one of the highlights of this tablet because a major reason to get it in the future will be the S Pen, especially when prices drop a bit, which usually is the case with Samsung tablets. Then this will very likely be the cheapest good tablet with an active stylus. And it is included. It works exactly the same as on the S9 FE and Galaxy Tab S9. It has two less features. There's no battery built in, so you cannot use it as a remote in the camera app or on PowerPoint, but it's not too much of a disappointment. And the second feature that's missing is that this is just a 60 Hz display. So if you look very carefully in apps like Samsung Notes and so on, if you look very carefully, it doesn't react as fast as the Galaxy Tab S9 series. But it's still much faster than pretty much every Lenovo or Xiaomi tablet. So Samsung's S Pen is really good. And I'm sure for the S Pen, I will recommend it after my review is done, since the S Pen really compared to most other manufacturers except for Apple and Microsoft, those are also great, but except for those, the S Pen is one of the best pens out there, and it works really well also on this cheaper version. We've got all the features for the S Pen pre-installed, including Samsung Notes, but also the air commands that I can get out here, with which you can take a screenshot very quickly, open a notes window very quickly. You can select something and annotate it very quickly. You can annotate PDFs with it. It's a great feature, and Samsung Notes is a great app, and this S Pen is a really nice feature. Now let's get to the internal hardware of the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2024 edition. Inside runs the new Samsung Exynos 1280 processor, and that's basically one of the only really new changes compared to both predecessors. We also get 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage, and it might be that Samsung will release other storage options in the future. You can get it with LTE 4G if you want, but not with 5G, and both the Wi-Fi and 4G version have GPS, which is nice. You can see my Geekbench 5 benchmark comparison here, and you can see that the performance of this new Exynos chipset is quite a bit better than the 2020 and 2022 edition of this tablet. So it's nice that we actually do get a performance boost here. It's also more powerful than the Galaxy Tab A9 Plus and much more powerful than the Lenovo Tab M11, which are both quite a bit cheaper. However, it is weaker than the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 FE, as you can see, and also weaker than the Xiaomi Pad 6. The S9 FE is more expensive, but the Xiaomi Pad 6, the prices have dropped quite a bit, and at the moment it might even be cheaper than the S6 Lite 2024 edition. I played PUBG Mobile already, and you can see me playing it here with HD graphics. It looks pretty good, and it also runs very smoothly. The performance did improve compared to the predecessor, so that's something we should expect, that it can run PUBG Mobile just fine. For my final review, I will also try Fortnite, which did run on the predecessor, but not well, but it does run quite well on the S9 FE, so it will be interesting to see how it runs on the 2024 edition. You can expect that to see in my final review of this tablet. Yeah, I think it's quite disappointing that Samsung does not offer an official keyboard cover for the S6 Lite, because the S9 FE has two great keyboard covers as an option, and Lenovo has the Lenovo P11 Gen 2 edition as a direct competitor, which is cheaper at the moment, and that one has a fantastic keyboard as an option. So this might be a great tablet with pen, but certainly not a great tablet with keyboard. You can connect third-party keyboards, of course, using Bluetooth or USB, but there's no official keyboard cover. I think that's a bit disappointing. So let's check out the software. The Galaxy Tab S6 Lite 2024 edition is running Android 14, including One UI in version 6.1. We can confirm it's Android 14 here and One UI 6.1 on top. So it's running the same software as other current Samsung devices. Samsung has updated pretty much the whole recent lineup to Android 14 already. So the software is basically the same. And these updates are a big plus of Samsung, like a big highlight of Samsung. I'm expecting this to get at least 2 big version updates, so Android 15 and 16. I'm not sure about the predecessors. Maybe it will even get 1 more year of updates, but we will see. In general, you cannot do much wrong with Samsung for an Android manufacturer what updates are concerned. And regarding the software, standard Android 14, including One UI, there's nothing new here. We've seen all these features before. We've got a lot of apps from Google and Samsung pre-installed, including the fantastic Samsung Notes app and also the Air commands. But again, these are the same on all S Pen tablets. And we get all these standard features, and that includes, by the way, the taskbar at the bottom here. And what I like is that it supports the Samsung DeX desktop mode. You cannot connect an external display using the USB port, sadly, but still you can use the desktop mode and connect keyboard and mouse using Bluetooth or USB, and then you can use the desktop mode just fine. Without keyboard and mouse, it doesn't make much sense to use it. So the software is certainly a plus point on this tablet. Well, and my first impression of this tablet is twofold. On the one hand, I like that we're getting a new edition with a better processor and still quite an affordable tablet with an S Pen. But for this, actually, the price has to drop a bit. Now, usually Samsung tablets do drop in price quite fast after they are released. So I'm actually pretty sure that soon this might be the best cheap tablet with a pen, or the cheapest tablet with a great pen that you can buy, because in cheaper price classes we don't have a great pen at the moment. The predecessor has been the cheapest tablet with pen that I recommended, and this one might be the same. I have to review it still, and maybe I will find some downside, but so far it seems like it will take the place of its predecessor. I like that we're getting a better processor. The new packaging is nice to see, but it's certainly not a must to see. And it's still twofold because on the other hand, we've got the Galaxy Tab S9 FE here, which is better in many ways, and it costs just around 100 euros, $100 more. It has a water and dust resistant body, a water and dust resistant S Pen. It has a brighter, better screen with 90 Hz. It has a fingerprint reader, a lot of premium features, 2 great keyboard options, and just a lot more features, and also more storage as a standard, 128 GB as a standard. So if you can spend a bit more money, or if prices are not that different, then the S9 FE is certainly a better choice. Now, if prices drop quite a bit, then the S6 Lite, I'm sure, will be a great tablet with active pen support. But yeah, we will see how it will turn out in my final review. Like I said, first impression is twofold. On the one hand, it's nice to get an upgrade of the cheapest tablet with a great pen, but on the other hand, the S9 FE really is quite a bit better and not that much more expensive. So much about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. If you want a bit better tablet, check out my full review of the Galaxy Tab S9 FE. Like I said, it's a better tablet, it has a lot more features, and it's just a little bit more expensive, but actually not that much.